Myself Sanjay Bharadwaj, Assistant Professor, Jagannath Institute of Education, JIBS, Gentek, Greater Noida. Subject is Understanding Discipline and Subjects, and the topic is Scientific Thinking. What is science? Science word is derived from the Latin word scientia, means to know or knowledge. It is the state of knowing. Knowledge as distinguished from ignorance or misunderstanding. The systematic study of natural world. Systematically acquired knowledge that is verifiable. The observation, identification, description, experimental investigation, and theoretical explanation of phenomena. It is a method used by humans to try to make sense of the world in which they live. The main goal of science is to acquire knowledge about the world. It originates from the Greek. And what is the technology? Technology word originates from the Greek word technologia and the Latin word technologia, which means an approach to doing something systematically. It is the usage and knowledge of the tools, crafts, systems, techniques, or methods of organization. The difference between the science and technology. Science and technology are two different terms which have two different meanings. Science is a knowledge that explains about natural phenomena. Technology is a field that is closely related to the world created by man to develop systematic ways in controlling either the natural world or the man-made world, as well as involving the process of doing something. The examples of science in chemistry. One molecule of water consists of two atoms of hydrogen and an atom of oxygen, which is bonded by covalent bond. In biology, some diseases are caused by genes that can be passed from one generation to another. In the case of physics, objects fall to the ground because of the presence of gravity. These are the few examples of the science and few examples of the technology. In order to find the alternatives to fossil fuels, the technology to create energy from water by breaking water's covalent bond is being developed. Through genetic engineering, genes which carry diseases can be identified. Rockets and jet technology have allowed mankind to defy gravitational pull in order to enable flight. And what is the scientific method? It refers to a body of techniques for investigating phenomena, acquiring new knowledge, or correcting and integrating previous knowledge. Scientific method to be termed scientific, a method of inquiry must be based on gathering observable, empirical, and measurable evidence subject to specific principles of reasoning. A scientific method consists of the correlation of data through observation and experimentation, and the formulation and testing of hypotheses. These steps must be repeatable to predict future results. Scientific inquiry is generally intended to be as objective as possible to reduce biased interpretation of results. These are the few steps of the scientific method. First is state of the problem or the purpose. Number two, research, gather information on the problem. Number three, form a hypothesis, perform experiments to test the hypothesis, record and analyze data, state a conclusion, repeat or redesign, and the last is report the results. What is scientific thinking? Scientific thinking is that mode of thinking about any scientific subject, content, or problem in which the thinker improves the quality of his or her thinking by skillful taking charge of the structures inherent in thinking and imposing intellectual standards upon them. This statement was given by Dr. Richard Paul or Dr. Linda Elder. Scientific inquiry is a two-component problem-solving process of generating and testing of the hypothesis. The organization of the problem-solving process is called the scientific method or the process framework. Scientific thinking involves, these are the few points by which we can say the scientific thinking involves these all the steps. Wondering about things, asking questions, making predictions, looking, listening, touching, smelling, and tasting to get information, organizing information and talking about it, comparing things by taking about how they are alike and different, using words to explain why something happened. Qualities of scientific thinking. Scientific thinking means thinking like a scientist. Scientists make observations, they ask questions about what they observe, they make predictions about the cause of the things that they observe. Their predictions are based on evidence that can be measured and tested. They test their hypotheses, they communicate their results to their peers. Scientific thinking is a process of inquiry, and inquiry means investigation. These are the few examples by which we can use the scientific method of scientific thinking on the students or the child of age 3 to 4 years. The activity name, age, purpose, things you will require. First activity is sink or float. The age is 3 to 4. To help your child to wonder about and investigate things by making predictions and observing. What are the things required to perform this activity? These are plastic tub, water, objects like cork, wood, shell, etc. Sink float chart, and the next activity is science toolbox. Age group is the same, 3 to 4 years, and the purpose is to show your child that tools can be used to learn and see things in the different way. And the things these are required: magnet, flashlight, mirror, magnifying glass, etc. Exploring world, to help your child notice things in his world by thinking, asking questions, and talking. Paper bag, magnifying glass, textbook, these are the things which he requires. Let us feel it. To support your child in exploring our world by using sight, sound, and touch, musical toy, or alarm clock. These are the things required to investigate by the child of 3 to 4 years age group and these activities he or she can perform easily. And this is the activity, and the steps are activity that he can perform. So this is called the scientific thinking. And thank you very much.